Why I don't consider myself a right-wing conservative. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and a lot of people who do consider themselves right-wing, be they people who voted for Trump this election simply to stop Clinton, be they libertarians, or be they full-on conservatives who have always been conservatives, a lot of these people keep wondering why I don't consider myself right-wing. And a major portion of the left just calls me a right-winger without even asking. I definitely did have the epiphany some number of months ago that I basically cannot associate myself politically with the left anymore because it seems like absolutely everything they are actively standing for at this point are things that I see as bad ideas. Intersectional feminist social justice. Bad idea. Outlawing the criticism of Islam. Bad idea. Completely open immigration. Bad idea. No platforming speakers at universities. Super bad idea. Trigger warnings and safe spaces. Bad fucking ideas. Even the things I once found myself largely in favor of, like universal healthcare, free public university, and $15 minimum wage hike nationally, seem now to be things I supported simply because I was completely out to lunch in regards to our current economy, which is actually complete and utter shit and has been since the crash of 2007. And in the case of universities, I didn't fully realize how much brainwashing and indoctrination goes on there these days. Unfortunately, it would seem at this point that the things that the left have either implemented or continue to advocate for in the current year just aren't good ideas, and it would be dishonest for me to say that I am in favor of them. It's not that I want to feel this way as a lifelong leftist, because it's embarrassing to feel like maybe I was wrong about so much. And hey, Obama, thanks for being the sitting president that passed gay marriage, but I can't say a whole lot of other praises for you at this moment. Truthfully, it seems like we are in a big corporatist mess made possible mostly by the Democratic Party, which was keeping the masses stupidly blind to what was going on while things seemingly got worse and worse. And then, when the Democrats didn't get their way and put Hillary Clinton into office, we now have a domestic terrorist group trying to start a civil war, probably funded by some of the same people trying to put Hillary Clinton into office. That said, if I seemingly dislike just about everything that has become of the left, does that mean I like things about the right? Well, not exactly, though it's odd that judging somebody by the content of their character instead of immutable traits and freedom of speech are seemingly right-wing conservative positions, because obviously they should be both universal positions, but more so. I can't say that I am a conservative because when I think of conservative, I think of people who are wanting our nation to stay more or less the same, which I can't say is what I want exactly. I am always open to new ideas and new ways of doing things. It's this thing called evolution. Does that mean that we should try universal basic income within the next 10 years in the USA? Well, slow down. I think we'll have to fix our economy and our relations to the global economy first. But eventually, someday, I do like to think that the human race will develop into some Star Trek fantasy land where people can share a bit better. Sure. I mean, seriously, I remember the 90s very clearly. And if somebody told me about 2017 and that I would have a computer as a phone that was as powerful as they are now so that I can watch movies easily from anywhere, if they told me that in 1997, I would have definitely believed them, but never really have been able to contemplate the reality that is the current year. So I like to think I leave my options open. Technological progress is inevitable, and I genuinely believe that one of the main things holding us back towards the progress of our entire planet evolving has been shitty trade deals and a ridiculous global economy set up by people who obviously don't even understand internet culture and simply didn't adapt with the times. Seriously, global corporatism was set up in the late 1990s, and it seemingly hasn't changed at all since then whatsoever. Rather, it's just become less and less free market and more totalitarian with its ties to government. So, am I saying fuck globalism? No, not entirely. I just think that the current set of people in charge of global relations did a ridiculously awful job setting things up, and they were too fucking stubborn for whatever reason to admit that they had done it wrong. Maybe there are countless CEOs that get paid millions of dollars a year to not admit that their corporation's global profit margin predictions might have been wrong. Maybe there are some powerful people who invested their lives into globalism that are simply senile and making bad decisions now. Maybe there are nations with messed up governments that just kind of want the rest of the world to be as bad as they are, or to profit off people's suffering. Regardless of what is going on, apparently we need to say, out with the old for quite some time before we decide to say, in with the new. And at the moment, the Western left has a lot of old to get rid of. So I do hope that you won't hold on to a failed dream of utopia, this globalized utopia thing, this world without borders, because it just didn't work for now. There's some big problems, like ISIS and stuff, that we have to deal with. So we need to go back to the drawing board. All right, drop me a comment, help me out on Patreon if you want to keep me making videos for a new era, and stay tuned.